Fallen in love with Jahmyr Gibbs. I've fallen out of love with C.J. Gardner-Johnson. That's from Josh from Flat Rock. C.J. is, I don't know, man. He's an interesting case. I said it yesterday. I'll say it again. I will not be shocked if he's back. I will not be shocked. And I could understand why. His season was robbed from him by injuries. But if you liked him a year ago, the only reason not to like him now is the emergence of a Fatu Melifonwu that has made him expendable. But you could afford all three this past season. You can afford all three this season. Now, if you need the money for something else, I get it. But
do you think he'll be back because the Lions really want him back? Not that they wouldn't want him back. Of course, they're not going to sign guys they don't want. But do you think the market might be soft for C.J. Gardner-Johnson? I would love it if he came back, just because I think depth is important. To have three safeties that you can rotate, but as long as he's willing to accept that role.
Yeah, if you're talking about affordable contract and soft market and happy and wants to be part of it no matter what his role is, yeah, I think he will be back. I mean, there's a lot of ifs there, okay? But I hear you. Falling in love with Jared Goff, falling out of love with Matthew Stafford. Time to move on now, buddy. That's from Sean in Westland. I mean, look, the Stafford thing, that got uncomfortable and predictably so. I'm going to give Stafford a little bit of the benefit of the doubt. I'm a little worried that he had this love affair with Detroit when everything was going great with him. He could say glowing things, but then when things got good for us and worse for him, he seemed a little bit bitter about it, but we only see snapshots in time, and sometimes that's not fair, but Tony and Metamora, Jared Goff. I did not like him at all. Now I feel like a fangirl. I'd fangirl out if I met him. Sorry. I've fallen out of love with the whole Pistons existence. They mean nothing to me. I've fallen in love with Alex Anzalone. Just in the last week, the article in the Players Tribune solidified that. I've fallen out of love with Troy Weaver. That needs zero explanation.
There's my out of love, Troy Weaver. Yeah. I was a big Troy Weaver guy. Believe in Weave, the whole thing. I actually think Troy Weaver is a pretty good scout. He can scout talent. I think the GM, Troy Weaver, not so good. Putting together a roster that can win basketball games. And I think that's a different skill set than just identifying talent. And he hasn't done it, and it sucks because like I said, I was in love with the guy. Now I'm out of love. I don't feel it anymore, Doug.
Well, Joe at work got your fallen out of love guy with Troy Weaver, and he got my fell in love with guy with Alex Anzalone. And yes, it's the way he played on the field, which I liked a lot. I don't know that I have ever read, like the Players Tribune's been around for a while, and I've read a lot of stuff that the players have written. I think Alex Anzalone's might be my all-time favorite letter penned on that website because he conveyed belief in this team and the future and a want to be here and to win and an appreciation for this town and its fans. But then he really took us inside how much this hurt and how it kind of manifested itself in his real life. And then when he tweeted out during the Super Bowl, not going to lie, this is tough because I think one thing we always want to hear, and I think unrealistically, we want to hear that all our players ever do is work out, watch film, sleep, and eat healthy. That's all we want to hear they do around the clock. Another thing we want to hear is that they care as much as we do. Like they care as much as the fan cares. And they don't always convey that. They don't always convey that. And they don't, obviously, certainly holding them to the expectation of work out, watch film, sleep, recover. That's not realistic. But Alex Anzalone certainly has given off a belief that he cares as much as any fan cares. It matters that much to him.